Hello there, and today we're going to be reacting to My Job Experience by Degenerocity.
I'll be talking about one of humanity's biggest fears. A job! This is a horrifying path that almost everybody will have to eventually face in their life, whether we like it or not. And
Just think about it, there are some people in this world who never have to work. Just think about that, like modern kings and queens.
Time, we don't, but everyone has to get their bread somehow. So we just gotta suck it up and pray that we win the lottery or our parlay hits one day. Because let's be for real, nobody want a job. Like, unless you got real aspirations for a certain type of work. I think most of us, if given a magical opportunity to get paid however much you get paid now and not work that job again, we would take it.
Particularly if it's like customer service or retail, which I've done enough of at this point. I never want to go back to those jobs ever again. I will say though, like working service-based jobs like retail, food, stuff like that, it is good for you. Like, it means you treat other people who work those jobs when you're no longer working them way more pleasantly because you know that it sucks.
Most of us see jobs as a way to get by in life and try to make ends meet. There's no room for you to pursue passions in this economy. You better second guess that art degree and major in business so you can be
getting called out. So I do have 2 degrees. I have a bachelor's degree in English literature and I have a master's degree in publishing and business. Definitely not the wisest decisions to have made in terms of university, but you're kind of railroaded into going to university, and so you end up just taking whatever course is kind of like tolerable. If I was to do it again, I'd do like math or computer science instead, but it really depends on like how you get brought up and like what environment your school is like. I didn't go into a good school, so like the opportunities just weren't ever presented to us. The opportunities that were presented to us were basically like, hey, do you want to be a plumber? Do you want to be an electrician? Do you want to not go to jail? It's like, oh, sweet. My options are very bright.
An executive marketing promoter for $1 billion company. But I digress. I'm just saying, I doubt that is most people's passions to work at a 9-to-5 at a warehouse lifting boxes. Don't mean any disrespect, but am I wrong? Plus, it's fun being unemployed. As long as you got a roof over your head and don't need to worry about bills.
It's fun being unemployed as long as you have lots of money.
Then what?
If you don't have lots of money, then being unemployed is like super stressful because like you just can't make ends meet. You can't afford food, you can't afford rent. Everyone wants money, everyone's got their hands out, and like it's stressful, man. Having lots of money is like one of the ways to not have stress.
How would you want a job? That sounds like it's taking away your time from being grandmaster on Rivals and watching reels.
I'm Celestial, actually.
But eventually you want to get your own stuff. You know, young boy tickets ain't free. Or life really hits you in the face and now you actually have bills. So eventually we all have to get a job. However, you know what's harder than actually deciding to get a job?
Yeah, like actually deciding to get a job isn't hard.
Finding one that hires you.
Finding one that's gonna hire you is super hard. And like I hate that even when I had to like work in retail, I kept being rejected because I kept failing the personality tests. So I'm trying to work at like this fucking retail store that's just all across England, and they wouldn't hire me because I couldn't get past the personality test. And every time I get to the end of the test, they're like, oh, your personality doesn't fit with the company's culture. But because I'm actually like proactive and not some bitch you could just own and like make them do overtime with no money. Like, yeah,
where you could send 100 applications to 100 different places and all of them would still ghost you. You think with how many?
So I got laid off about 1.5 years ago for the 3rd time in a row, and since then I've sent out 300 applications and I've tracked every single one. And you know, like I actually I'm a bit of a nerd, the percentage of people who actually responded out of those 300, it was 27%. 100% of that 27% were all rejections. Figure that one out.
Job openings, you see, the businesses are desperate to find people. But nah,
it's complete bullshit. You see these companies being like, oh, we're so desperate for workers, like we need employees. It's like, well, have you tried hiring anyone?
Feels like they're posting it as bait just to mess with people or steal your info.
Or steal your info, which is a really frustrating thing to do because you see a lot of these jobs go up and they always look too good to be true. And so I can't speak for the US because I know like most of my viewers are in the US. But if you see like a job and it's going for way more money than it realistically should do, and it's very vague and like what it requires, that's going to be a scam. The biggest scam you'll often see is like, hey, do you want to earn $1,000 a week from home? It's like, bro, that never pans out.
Not only that, if this is your first job, you're going to have a harder time because even the quote unquote entry level jobs are asking for a qualification of having prior experience. experience.
Yeah.
Like,
It's complete. Like the entry-level jobs should be entry-level. That means 0 to 1 year's experience. That means like they're not hiring you because of your degree unless it's like engineering. They should be hiring you based on whether or not you can be trusted as a person. It doesn't really matter about much more else. It doesn't matter about what your skill set is. If it's entry-level, let's say it's working at a store, you pretty much just be taught everything you need to learn by working in the store with other employees. Same with working in an office. Most office jobs are just fucking adult daycare.
isn't that what this job is for? How is someone supposed to get experience and not be homeless while almost every decent paying job requires that?
Oh, my favorite thing is unpaid internships. So we're gonna train you to do like a bunch of work, but we're not gonna pay you for that. And so like, look, I get it, it's difficult for business, but then governments should not tax the earnings that interns get. So if because an intern isn't making lots of money, they're probably making minimum wage, if not less. Just don't tax them, just give them that for free, and don't tax the business for them paying you as well. The problem solves itself.
And trying to apply for a job on LinkedIn or Indeed is like sending your
LinkedIn.
application into a void.
Yeah, like literally every single application that I sent. So I said that's 27% of the 300 jobs that I applied for got a response. Just think about that, 27%. That means 73% I never heard anything back ever. like what is going on? And it does mess with you like psychologically. It's like, what, am I worth nothing? Am I a complete screw up? Like, I've done everything the system told me to do and I'm still failing. And so it's like, well, it's not a problem with me anymore, it's a problem with the system. And then when people start thinking that mass, dude, we're gonna have problems.
I swear none of those people be reading them. You could have the most stacked profile on LinkedIn. You got a bachelor's, master's, discovered the cure for cancer. Then you send in an application for your dream job to your dream company. Then they write back to you saying, we've read your application. Unfortunately, the CEO's daughter has took your position that you applied for, so get the fuck.
So like, again, I have a bachelor's, I have a master's. I've also worked for the British government. I've worked for one of the top 500 companies in the world, and I still can't get a job. I've also been employee of the year. What a fucking nerd. And I still can't get a job. So it's like, what are we doing here?
Back when I was still applying for jobs, I literally gave up on sending applications on those sites because I'd never get a response back. Like, damn, was my application that bad?
The worst is definitely LinkedIn and Indeed. On LinkedIn, you'll basically just never hear anything and it's just filled with scam jobs. And then Indeed, it's slightly better because it at least feels like you can apply to some jobs that are somewhat local. But then I never hear anything back from anyone on Indeed ever. What is the problem here? Is it me? But then like the game is like designed to make you think that, is it me? But no, it should be, it's them.
Even when your application does get noticed and you get set up for an interview, you still gotta go through some more bullshit ass questions.
It is fucking bullshit. I was talking earlier about the personality test for like retail work. You don't need that for retail work. What I should do is you should put a job, I should come in, give you my resume or CV, whatever, and you should chat to me then and there for 5 minutes. If I don't pass, is this guy cool test, then just never bring me in for an interview. If I pass the is this guy cool test, bring me in, chat to me for maybe a bit longer, 10-15 minutes, maybe get the top 5 people you've met, talk to them, then make a decision from there. This is what I don't understand. So when I've actually been hiring developers, because I've been a software engineer, when I've hired other people like that, what I judge isn't by like, oh, how fucking amazing this person is. I judge, okay, is their skill set within like the interquartile range of what is needed for this role? If it is, then my sole deciding point from then on becomes, do I like this person? Is this person going to make my life and the life of everybody else in the team hell or not? If the answer is I like them, then the chances are I'm going to bring them to the next stage and try and get them in. If I don't like them, I'm getting rid of that person as soon as I can. This whole thing about fitting in with the culture and stuff like that is complete bollocks. As long as you're just nice and pleasant to be around and you can do the job to some degree, then that should be enough.
Why did you choose our business? Y'all hiring. Like, what's up? What is your main motivation to get your work done?
Money.
Money? What else am I here for? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Hopefully not fucking here.
Hopefully not here. That's
yeah, man.
just me being honest with my answers. What do you want me to do? Work here for the rest of my life? This is a Wendy's.
Exactly.
So you gotta lie with any question they ask. You have to make yourself look as good as possible. So you gotta fake it till you make it. Even if they asked you a stupid question like, would you still work this job even if there was no pay?
I have a story about this. So when I was studying down in Oxford, my university had a role open with Oxfam, which is a charity in England, basically. And so I was interviewing with them, and like they asked me this at the end of the interview. It's like, you know, would you work for no money? And I looked at them and I was like, no. Like, it's a charity, I understand that, but you pay the CEO. They're paying you to talk to me right now. So why would I not get paid if you're getting paid? And when I said that to her, her face just like completely turned to like the fires of hell, as if I'd said something like murdering children is fine. And she completely 180'd on me on that point. And I was like, but you're working for money right now. You're taking money from the donations that the company gets to pay your wages. Why doesn't that apply to me as well? And from that moment, I knew that I was in for a rough time in this world.
You say absolutely. I always wanted to be a slave.
Exactly. I'm not. If I'm doing work, you're fucking paying me. I'm not some slave.
Congratulations. You have successfully become employed. The end of your life starts Tuesday. After starting a job, I feel after the first week, you can find out whether you like it or quit it the next month. And it won't...
Yeah, like the first week is really important, I think. This is why I don't mind about the whole probation period, because I think the probation period goes both ways. It's that if you don't like it, then you can just like walk out as well. But if the company doesn't like you, or you kind of pass the interview, but then you've kind of turned up and you end up being like a massive racist, then they should be able to get rid of you in like a period of time. Maximum 2 months is what I'd say probation should be. Though realistically it's more like 4 to 6 weeks. So like probation goes both ways, and you've really got to think about that. If you turn up somewhere and they're just being like jerks to you, and they suddenly everything that they listed on the job, you're not doing any of that, and they're giving you totally different stuff to do, it's fine to then walk out as well. The problem is the company can easily afford to get rid of you and replace you. It's way harder for you to get rid of the company and replace them. So sometimes you just got to work somewhere that sucks, and you just got to suck it up and try and not fucking kill yourself.
Be the job itself to motivate this decision. It's your boss and co-workers.
Jiggle my balls.
They can make or break this whole thing. If
For real, like having a good boss and co-workers can make any job, and I'm saying any job, I'm talking like cleaning toilets. If you have good bosses and you have good like co-workers, it can make life so much nicer. And this is what I don't get, is when let's say in the times when I was working in retail, the other staff would just be like super miserable, and like, no, I get it, like this job sucks, you get paid basically nothing and everyone treats you like garbage, but we should treat one another kindly. We should treat one another with this mindset of, hey, look, this sucks, but at least we're in it together. And then it's so much more palatable. But people just get beaten down, and then, you know, they just wallow in it. And you should never do that. You should always try and be stronger rather than let them beat you down.
If you happen to get a chill boss and co-workers you can vibe with, that's amazing. That's how my last real job was. I used to be a waiter for weddings and other events. That job low-key had me stressing because I wasn't good at the start. I was awkward taking orders. I would mess up orders, and one time I even dropped a whole tray of food I was carrying at the wedding. Best believe I didn't get tips that day. And what would get me...
That's the thing, like co-workers are there to like help you and bring you up as well. So when you have co-workers who just want to bring everything down and just like see everything crash, that is probably a good time to try and go somewhere else if you can. I know you can't always do that.
Kind of jealous is that some of my co-workers would walk out and carry 2 trays full of food on one shoulder. Like, damn, bro, are you Samoan? Those trays are mad heavy and so out of balance.
Yeah.
But you know what kept me going? It was the fun time I had with my co-workers and boss. They were cool as hell. We had a carpool to get to the events. It was always a vibe and a good time. They made my experience. Imagine working a 16-hour...
I have a story of working in retail. So there was this guy, he was part of like a comedy troupe, and he was into like theater and stuff as well. He was a nice guy, a little bit weird, but hey, that's part of the parcel. And so I was on folding duty, so I was folding like jeans that customers had come in and just like tossed around the store because everyone's a monster. So this guy was stood in the changing rooms, basically as like a faux security guard to make people just don't like take the tags and like walk off. And but he was super quiet. It was like a Sunday afternoon, and the store was like basically empty. And so, as part of his pantomime, he got my attention across the store and mimed hanging himself. He got caught on the security cameras by the HR women who had nothing better to do, and they came like absolutely storming out of the office to like scream at him. And I'm there in the background going like, bro, that was worth it.
Hour shift and walking out of it happy. One day I clocked in for a double shift for a wedding and a Sweet 16 at 9:30 a.m. and clocking out at 1:30 a.m. Granted, I was dead after that shift and had to take off my shoes more than once, but I got $60 worth of tips and went to Wawa after work, so I felt like Gucci. And I believe
gets a little bit extra money, immediately blows it.
I only felt like this because the environment I was around was nice.
Yeah. Like I've done like night shift work where I've turned up in the early afternoon and I've gone all the way until like 5 a.m. to the next morning for like Christmas retail stuff. Just having staff around who would chill with that was good. And the one time like the manager turned up and she was like, no, I'm not letting you guys play music across the sound system. So what, we're just gonna work the night shift in fucking silence? Apparently that's what we did. And then everyone refused to work the night shift again.
I've had to serve some aggressive people at some points.
Yeah, it's my birthday today. What can I get out here for free?
For nothing. No, fuck off.
You a bitch.
If I had trash co-workers or a trash boss, I would have not stayed at that job for long.
Yeah.
I have zero patience for bullshit.
Staff turnover is a really big clue as to whether or not a company is good or not. If you know that like there's just been people after people after people who've been coming out like a revolving door, you know that's a place that ideally you don't want to be. Sometimes you still just got to be there. Man, that sucks.
Literally. Like example, the first job I've ever had in my senior year of high school, I was a janitor at a warehouse. I had no co-workers, so I had nobody to talk to, and my boss was not a bad person, but a bad boss.
Yeah, the idea of bad boss is so interesting, and because I'm like a little bit older now, I've seen what bad leadership is, and I've come to the conclusion that there's just people who shouldn't be managers. There's just people who shouldn't be in leadership positions, but they just end up there because, well, how else are they gonna like move up the ladder? You get people in positions of power who just shouldn't be there because they're just not capable, both as people and, to be honest, intellectually too.
I'd be working shifts that were 2 to 3 hours every few days, cleaning the break rooms, hallways, and bathrooms. So my pay wasn't even that good, but since I was still in school, I was just thinking I'm making money and I got more time to study and goon. That sounds like a win-win. But when payday arrived, I would only be paid for half the hours I worked.
What? I'd be kicking the fuck off.
Sometimes less. I was already barely working as is, combined with a salary of $13 an hour, cleaning up pee-pee and poo-poo. Man, I'm not taking it. Plus, he only paid me through Cash App.
No. That is sus. He's probably getting the full wage for that job and then paying you like the pittance off the side.
You've ever had a job that only paid you through Cash App? Man, I had to go. I only worked there for a few weeks. He did pay me the rest of the money after, so he cool, but man, warehouse jobs are not it. My patience dwindled faster when I got accepted at BJ's, and I worked there for 1 day. I asked to go to the bathroom and left during orientation. I discovered they weren't what they advertised.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier, where they bring you in for a job and like they say it's this one thing. You get there and you turn up and you start working, and then they completely do a 180 and it's totally something different. And it's just like, well, hang on, I didn't agree to this. You just like blatantly lied, and there's nothing you can do. All you can do is suck it up and work there or leave. But if you need money, you just suck it up and work there, and they know this, and that's why I hate them.
You're gonna call yourselves BJ's without expecting people to have certain expectations. That's false advertising. So I left. That wasn't really the reason. I just didn't want to work in the freezer. That's when I started my waiting job, then YouTube, and now here I am. Unemployed since. I'm just saying I can understand the struggles of looking for and having a job, especially the ones you only take to make ends meet. And the unemployed life can be really fun when you have stuff to fall back on. If not, it will only be short-term satisfaction. Eventually, you have to get a career, deal with any of the shortcomings of it.
If you could even get a career now, because like they lock you out of the entry level stuff. And so like, again, like I'm a little bit older. I have 5 years professional work experience. I can't get anything. Like, so what am I supposed to do? I'm too experienced for like lower level stuff. I've apparently not got enough experience for higher level stuff. And so it's like, well, what the fuck do you want from me? So this is why I started YouTube and started streaming. It's also why I built my own like business, and now I just make like iPhone apps and like run my own fitness business. Because like, if no one's going to employ me, I might as well just employ myself and just be fucking done with it.
And do that for the rest of your life. The American dream. So when looking for a job, make sure to get one that you like if you have the privilege to do so. That's all I really wanted to say. And in conclusion,
it is privilege though.
Enjoy unemployment while you still can. Different stroke.
Link in the description, guys. The challenging thing about unemployment and not working is that, one, it comes with a lot of societal and like familial pressure of like, oh, what, are you a loser? Why don't you have any money? Why don't you have a job? And it's like, well, sometimes you just can't get one. And it depends on where you live as well. So like, I predominantly lived in the countryside, so it's way harder to get stuff, or at least get stuff that's not 2 hours drive away. So like, it's tough. Like, and when you're unemployed, money is like so stressful, because if you've got no money, you ain't living, and you ain't got no roof over your head, and you ain't got no food, and like that is like mega tough. I'm lucky enough to have worked those software engineering jobs to have built like a sizable bank, but damn man, not pleasant out there, and it's only gonna get worse, particularly in England. Man alive, is it worse in England. A bit of a different video, this one, not necessarily a happy tone that I normally go for, but hey, I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.